What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we'll be discussing Moon in the fourth house. But before I get into it, I'd like to say all blessings to the God of gods, Jupiter, who after one whole year in the sign of Virgo has just transitioned into Libra. So we could be looking at, a good time as far as relationships and partnerships are concerned, expanding creativity, and just overall a balanced outlook for this year. That's the wisdom of this year. All right. So all blessings to Jupiter. Do something. Light a candle. Say a prayer. Write down some intentions. Give blessings to the God. Moon in the fourth house. So there's resonance here. The moon is naturally associated with the fourth house. So they represent much of the same things, which are our emotional response to things, how we nurture others and want to be nurtured in return. It shows a relationship with our mother. The fourth house focuses in on psychological experiences that, affect us going on. It shows into our childhood and how those things shaped our character or psychological processes. All right. It represents like your home life, okay, and as well as like your ability to attain convenient items. So it's a house of conveniency. Okay. So with Moon in this natural house, there's somewhat of a comfortable nature to the person's emotional outlook. Okay. Whether Moon's up emotions go up and down no matter where it's at. But when it's in the fourth house, it's much easier to deal with. And I think because it shows you having mother there. Okay. However, mother chooses to express herself or that relationship will be determined by the sign, and more information will be shown through the depositor. Okay, so let's just say we have a Cancer moon, okay, here in the fourth house. Mom's gonna be really nurturing, a sensitive person herself, and overall, her idea for you is just to be nurtured. That's what mom's idea for you is, and that'll be the nature of the relationship, a nurturing relationship. If it's in the sign of Gemini, it's going to be a very communicative one where mother focuses on your education a lot and making sure you learn things and teaching you things. So somebody, with Moon in the fourth house in Gemini, a strong memory from childhood would always be their parents doing their homework with them or teaching them something. Okay. If it's like in the sign of Taurus, this is, the nature of the relationship might be one where it's based on a lot of material values. Mom teaches you, about the material side of life, keeps you in the finest clothes, just gives you everything you need. All right, so pay attention to the sign, and that's going to give more info to the relationship with mom. All right, and just overall the flow of your childhood, how that was growing up. Uh, with Moon in the fourth house, the person is highly, since it's a house of psychological conditioning. So for most of us, our first teachers are our mothers. They teach us so much before we go to school and things like that. So the things you learn or the impressions impressed upon you during childhood affect your relationships with others, and your outlook on family and home life growing up. Okay, let's say you are fourth house Leo moon and you are predominantly raised by your father. Okay, let's say you were predominantly raised by your father, and your mom was always out traveling and chasing her creative aspirations. What happens is, you know, subconsciously, the child is missing that parent, and they, in a way to connect with that parent, may want to emulate that parent, or be like that parent. So what happens is that that person grows up thinking that's okay. All right, whether it's a guy or a girl, they may grow up thinking that's okay. It's okay for me to be a rolling stone and be out there and traveling a lot. Or it could be the opposite. The person could know that they they needed that attention from their mother, and their mother was never there. So in return, they're the homebody type of parent, instilling the confidence in their child that they never had. All right, this could work many ways. So say the expression, the positive qualities of the expression of the sign weren't infused into you. It's a chance that you would now take those qualities you didn't have and then infuse it into your child. Or you can emulate your parent and do as they did. It can go either way. That's why it's very important. It's a house of conditioning. So it's very important, this house, to show your kid the right things, or give them a direction, because it's really going to stick with them. The moon relates to our memories, and especially memories of the past. So somebody with a strong position like this, childhood memories replaying their minds a lot. Okay. Now, as far as relationships go, it plays right into that. Everything is based on this conditioning. So normally, people with moon in the fourth house, they want, their idea of relationships is wrapped up around building that foundation of a family. Okay, they're not like a fifth house moon who's in it for the dating. Like, man, I want to go on a lot of dates. I want to go on a lot of dates and see what these people have to offer, and just have as much fun dating as I can, and emotional fulfillment through adventure. Fourth house moon is like, after 2 dates, where are we going? Where are we going with this? I wonder if I could settle down with this person. So it's very much so, regardless of sign, a domestic position. You secretly, you want that home life. You want that home life because it brings you peace of mind. All right. So it's the next thing we need to know about this position. Ultimately, your peace of mind comes from the security of having somewhere to rest your head, or family to depend on, or someone to nurture. All right. So for fourth house moon, the biggest things in your life are going to be home, family, and your roots. These people need to know who they are more than others, because it gives them a path to follow. You understand? All right. So ultimately, this position, when I was saying that, it can be good and it can be bad. Say you have a really well aspected moon, so it just, the relationship with mom is really, really good, and then you may have it in something like Cancer, where she wants to nurture you and take care of you and things of that nature. On one side, the fourth house moon is to cultivate their own family foundation, okay, and roots, and provide that security for themselves. But what could happen is, and this is one of the biggest negative traits of Cancer, over dependence on others. This is a sign of nurturing. So you want to be nurtured, but you should also be nurturing others in return. On the negative side, it would be too much dependence on one's family, and that would limit growth. Okay, if you have a Sagittarius on your fourth house cusp, or like something where your 12th house ruler is in the fourth, or vice versa, that's a strong indication. You're not meant to live where you live in your place of birth. That for whatever reasons you could end up living in a foreign country. All right, there's many factors in the chart to pay attention to look at that. So if you yourself with this fourth house moon find that you're unfulfilled, it means that you need to embark on your own. If you are on your own and you feel unfulfilled, it means it's time to set down some roots, start a family. Okay, so I really hope this is making sense, guys. What you see growing up affects your psychological outlook towards the things of the fourth house. All right, and like I was saying, this is a house of like convenience. What I've noticed is that this is definitely one of those positions where I'm not gonna say you're spoiled, but you get things that you need. Okay, you can rely, and the fourth house in general doesn't have to just be moon here. There's certain planets here that just indicate always being able to get the things you need, mostly through family or one's mother. All right, so these are like kids who get their first car in high school, and or kids who parents pay for their rent when they're like 22, 25, something like that. All right, it's a house of convenience, but keep in mind what I said. On the negative side is over dependence. So if you find yourself being a little bit too over dependent and taking advantage of that convenience, you're limiting your growth. Okay, let's see, anything else? Overall, is another cool part of astrology is that it's been said that people with this position, since a moon is a water sign, and fourth house is original water house, and this is the house of home. People with strong emphasis in this house like to live by the sea. It's calming. I could definitely vouch from knowing Cancer people that water definitely calms them. Definitely calms them and puts them at ease. So that's something to keep in mind too. All right. Yeah. So guys, this is my interpretation of moon in the fourth house. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so. Until next time, peace.